What's up, dudes? Chooch, bringing y'all a full in-depth review of the INMOTION V12. Man, this thing has been a lot of fun to ride. I've had a blast on it, ripping it on trails. I've had a blast riding it on the road. Everything in between. And it really impressed me because after riding those 20-inch wheels like the veteran Sherman, you know, maybe like the M Supers and stuff like that, those were really, I got used to it, you know, and there was really no change for a while in the dynamic of what I was riding and kind of what it felt like. You know, everything kind of felt the same. And the last 16-inch wheel I had was that Kickstand 16S, and that's really not a performance 16-inch wheel. That's more of a kind of entry-level wheel. It's really good, and I really like that wheel for the price point. So if you're thinking about getting into the hobby, I think the Kickstand 16S really is a good starting point for a lot of you out there. Also, this right here, this is like your more performance starting point of a 16-inch wheel. This is something you're going to be getting that's just more high-end. Everything on it is just the components, everything like that. You're paying $700 more for it, but you're getting $700 more, I think, in quality out of something like this, as opposed to paying like $1,300 for a Kickstand 16S. This really has some incredible features. It's really fast. The motor in this thing is basically twice as powerful as the motor in the Kickstand, and a little bit more actually. So you got to think this is a really powerful motor in this 16-inch wheel. This is a 2,500 watt motor packed into this little thing, and I didn't really think too much of it. You know, 2,500 watt motor is what the Sherman has in it, and I didn't really think, you know, too much of it on like the torque standpoint and stuff like that. But this thing is impressive, man. If you're just going into like a little rock or a little like jump or anything like that, like there was a trail I was riding that had rocks on it about this high off the ground. You know, the rocks you could come up to, and it had like a sloping face on some of them. Other rocks were just like steep faced. You could literally line up on it with this wheel and just boost. Literally, you could just grab with the front wheel and just boost, and that front wheel with that lowered air pressure can really grab that rock and just cruise right up it. Yeah, that instant torque. You see that instant torque, that transfer right there, that little pump. It's gnarly, dude, on this thing. It's sick. You know, chunky trail riding or anything like that. And man, this thing's really impressive for that little stuff. And it's really lightweight. So if you're coming from other wheels, like I said in other videos, I mean, this is just going to feel like featherweight, but it's also going to have all that power there. So it's going to be kind of misconceiving to a lot of you guys that have been riding for a while. If you get this thing and you're not thinking too much of it, you're thinking, oh, I'm just getting a little 16-inch wheel to play around on, and it's not going to have that pep in its step like the other wheels. Dude, you're wrong. You saw in the other videos, this thing threw me on the ground twice, man. And I went ahead and put that in there just so you guys know, with that much power and a smaller diameter wheel, this thing, I mean, it gets going quick. There's no lag in your torque. There's no lag at all in your acceleration, because it's, you got to think about this, guys. There's no, the more spokes there is and the more area there is between those spokes and that actual motor, you got to think that's more leverage that motor's having to pull around, essentially. So that's why I've always said this about these smaller wheels that don't have the spokes on them. So by I mean the spokes on it, if you look right here on the rim, this is just a hard rimmed wheel. And if you look at wheels like the M Super Pros, the RST, the Shermans, there's a little bit of spoke in there. There's a little bit of gap right in there. That's not a bad thing. Those are absolutely phenomenal wheels. But with this and like the M10 and the smaller wheels that don't have those spokes, and it's a really small gap between that tire and that motor, then you just get an insane torque, man, insane acceleration. Like these things pop almost like a trials bike. And by what I mean by that, if you don't know what a trials bike is, it's like one of those dirt bikes that's made for, it's geared in a way that it can really deliver power instantly. It's not a fast bike, but it delivers that power instantly if you need to jump from a rock or either from a post, or how, you know, you've seen the guys doing it, the guys that ride the dirt bikes on one back wheel. And essentially in that sport, you want as much instant torque as you can. So when you let off that clutch of that dirt bike, that thing will just lurch forward, and you can use the engine power almost as like a pogo stick, you know. And this is exactly what you can do with this wheel right here. You can use the engine power as a pogo stick, and whether it be it could be a little rock or a little pebble. It could even be like, you know how a sidewalk would be uneven? You could have an uneven sidewalk with a wheel like this and just go up to it. I'm talking at like just real slow, and then in the last second just go boom and just boost off of it. I'm talking like just boost off of it. And it's a lot of fun. You can have so much fun with these little wheels. And the thing is, you really need to take into consideration, you know, you're seeing a lot of all these guys in the forums talking about all these massive wheels they're getting, and a lot of people have only the Sherman, you know, as their first wheel, or they only have like a RST, or they only have one of these wheels that has 1800 watt hours of battery wattage in it plus. And these are just heavy wheels, guys. They're heavy wheels if you're taking it in and out of your car often. They're heavy wheels if you're getting in and out of a store. You know, they're heavy. They're just heavy wheels if you're getting home every single day from let's say 85% of your rides, and you're not under 40%, you probably need to go with something lighter weight like this, and it will be more fun, and it'll be even easier just getting it out the door. I don't know if you live somewhere where you got an apartment where you the last place I lived had an elevator in the apartment, which was amazing for electric unicyclists. That was a blessing, but I know a lot of people don't have it. And you know, in current situation like I am now, even just a few stairs, man, it's just a pain in the butt with a heavier wheel. So if you get something like this, just those little things, if you can still have fun on it, it still gets you as far as you need to go, and it still is fast like this with the good speakers, digital display, good headlights. I really don't see a reason why you would want to spend the extra money and you know, go that way, especially if you're a first time, if you're just getting into the hobby. I really think that something like this would impress you just as much as one of those wheels that's costing $3,000. Whether it be, you know, M Super Pro as well, anything like that. I think giving something like this a shot is definitely worth it, you know, especially like, I mean, if you got the money to spend on it, you know, get this and then get something else faster down the line. But I think something like this is going to be extremely impressive to a lot of people. Alright guys, so another thing, check these out. So these are the new Clark pedals right here. These are available right now, and these are freaking artwork. Check these out. Check those out. Can adjust these right here and angle them up if you want to be more locked in, flare them down if you want to be more flat. You got the magnet right here. Check this out. The magnet in there, and it's held down by 2 screws in here. And look at all these individual spike pins, these high quality pins on here. They're beautiful. They really are. And look at this angle right here. Check this out. Look at that angle. That's one thing I even told him about. I said, man, if I'd have had these in that race, this angle right here alone would have helped me corner just a little bit harder. And because in the original Clark pedals, it was a completely solid edge right there. And I showed him the rub point, and it'd go click click right there, and I was like, it's just, if that was worn down, I'd be able to literally lean probably just a few more degrees, or at least feel like I was leaning a few more degrees. So they did that. man, all around, these are sweet, man. You could put these in a freaking trophy case, man. Like, I sincerely appreciate these, man. And they, unfortunately, guys, these don't fit. I tried to put them on here. So just so you guys know, I tried to put these on here for this wheel, for the INMOTION V12, and I don't think that they fit. Yeah, they don't fit on there, guys. So these definitely fit, like the B-Goads, the Sherman, a bunch of the other wheels and stuff, but they just don't fit this one for some reason. But the pedals I really like that will fit these are the free motion pedals, and I'm going to show you a image of those because they're on a wheel that's tucked away. But those pedals are sweet, man. Those are some sweet pedals as well. And I think those black free motion pedals, if you want some really spiky pedals, those will fit on here perfect. And I think it'll be a really beautiful combination to go with those. Either the red free motion pedals too. And I've ridden a lot with those guys. I've heard some people talk about those other pedals. I think these are sweet. I've ridden with the Gen 1s of these, won the race on them. And I've also rode with the pretty much every single one of my wheels now have some sort of spike pedals on it, and I genuinely like all of them. The Clark pedals are really nice. They're a pretty penny, but I did win a race on them. They're really good. The free motion pedals, I can say, if you want some quality good pedals, they're good looking pedals, and they're nice. So check those out as well. Alright, so you're probably wanting to know about range in a small wheel like this, and you're like maybe worried about it, and you're thinking, okay, so I ride a good bit, and all the people I ride with usually go on long rides, and if I get something like this, will I be affected by it? And I don't know what it is with this one, man, but this just feels like I'm getting a ton of range for what it is out of this, honestly. And I haven't even gotten it down to like 20% yet, and I've gone on some pretty far rides, and I've been pretty aggressive with it on the far rides, and I think comfortably up to a 220 pound rider, if you're just cruising, man, just like, you know, 15, 25, 30 miles an hour just cruising, you can go a long way on this wheel, guys. I'm thinking maybe over 55 miles on this wheel. Maybe. I haven't tested that completely yet. The actual rating says 70 miles, but I'm talking about aggressive hard riding. And I've rode this up mountain roads, aggressive hard riding stuff, and it's impressive. And I've yet to do it's hard for me to do a good range test, man, because I don't like riding flat ground. I'd rather go up towards the mountains and away from people and cars. All right, so this is the display on here. Scroll through here, you can kind of see everything on here. I've really been riding this hard, guys, so this is why this is kind of scratched up around here. I've taken some tumbles, guys, so it is held up very well. I think on any other wheel, on like an M Super, it would be cracked for sure, but you can see like it has held up quite well. Here's your voltage, your miles per hour, kilometers per hour, and then you can go into your settings. You can change your max speed. You can change what your speed alarm is. You can turn that all the way up. You can do it. You can put the modes on commuting or off-roading, and I can't really tell, guys, honestly, what the difference is in these two modes. The only thing I can think, really, the off-roading, I feel like it has more acceleration, and like it's basically, like I said, like a two-stroke, like 65 dirt bike. You're accelerating quick from corner to corner, and I think that's what the off-road mode kind of helps with, or at least that's what I noticed. And you can change your volume right here of the machine, and then your ambient light mode. You can go in here, so light mode, you can have it set to where it'll show, the light mode will adjust to how fast you're going. You can do it on this to where it'll flash to your music, basically. So you can change it between all of these. See how it's like, you can change it to literally whatever color you want it to. And it'll like, see that, how it's flashing? So you can literally set this up. So if you got any type of lighting scheme you want to go for, anything special, you know, and at night it really does look bright. But If you got any type of special like lighting scheme you want to match any of your gear, you can change it on this. It's really cool. I'm glad they have it, and I'm glad like the LEDs on this are cool. They're not any like BS like light strips or anything. It's like all actually in the shell. You see this right here behind it. All the other stuff had like a ring where you had to pop this off, and there's like a little light strip behind it. But all of this is integrated into the actual shell, which I really like. And then you can scroll down here. Screen auto off. I guess this will just turn off when you're riding. And then sound wave, guys. So this right here is whenever you're leaning to take off or go forward or whatever, it'll go, and it sounds really. Some people don't like it, dude, and like it does not work if you're playing music through this because it'll interrupt the music. But if you just have the sound wave on, it is funny, bro. Like it is quite cool. It sounds like it really does like seem like you're on like a miniature like 4-stroke dirt bike when that's on, because just the way it sounds, just like it's like just the way it's cool. It's pretty cool. I'll put in a little excerpt of how that thing sounds and what it rides like, because it's pretty neat. The spin kill button, see that's what I was talking about with spin kill right there. So this is your spin kill. You see right there. And what that basically does is if you have that on, when you pick up the wheel, when you press right here, it engages this. And even though it's on, the wheel is not going to spin. If I turn this off and pick it up, it's going to do a burnout on the carpet. And you don't want to do that. If you are at your mama's house, at your girlfriend's house, or not your house, and you do that on the carpet, you might have a problem on your hands. So that's the spin kill button right there. So you want to have that engaged so you'll even feel it. Whenever you press this button, see how it's staying up? You can press this under here, and it just kind of collapses it. You see what I'm saying? And then I have that. I don't like that on for my type of riding because, like I said, I like it whenever I'm going up to a rock or something on the side of a mountain. I like it to be on so it kind of rolls over the rock easier, you know? That's just, and most people won't like that on. I understand that. And then your balance angle, this is so cool. You can change this on here, guys. So see how it says balance angle? This is just your front to back calibration. So no need to really finick with it other than like you just literally, if you like to ride with it angled forward like that, go for it. If you like to ride with it angled all the way back like that, go for it. And then you can just, see that's just like how it'll be. It's just changing the angle of it right there. Instead of having to calibrate it, which like the old wheels, you can just change it right on here. And I like it at about -1. That's usually what I ride at, -1. Vehicle calibration, that's just going to do your up and down calibration from side to side. Basically, you just want it centered. You want it straight up and centered and not too far left or too far right, unless you're trying to do like a velo track or something like that. Then you can calibrate it off centered, and then your 45-degree cutoff will be changed. But that's advanced stuff. Transport mode. I assume if you have transport mode engaged, it's gonna, when you cut it off, I guess you gotta, I really don't understand what transport mode is on that. If anybody knows, go ahead and comment that below, because I'm sure somebody knows what it is. I just don't know exactly what transport mode means on this, but I'm sure somebody else does. See, it was just going to sleep right there. But all in all, I really like the display. Quality wheel, and I've run it through the ringer, guys. So with the kickstand on the back, guys, if you're doing any jumping or anything like that, I would definitely suggest you make sure that you like put a piece of tape on it or like a neodymium magnet or something like that, because if you hit enough jumps, it's going to flip down. And then whenever you go to land, guys, this is like your prime landing point back here on like this back part of the wheel. When you go to land, you're going to hit this and just clip it and then like go down. So for sure, you gotta, and it stays up pretty well. Like you see that, it stays up and clips like pretty well if you're just street riding. But the minute you go hit a jump or something, it's just gonna do that. You hit another jump, it's gonna do that. You hit another one, boom, and then hit another one, boom, and then hit another one. And then next thing you know, you got a, literally like a trap on your wheel back there. So you need to tape this up. Literally carry Gorilla Tape with you, or either take a neodymium magnet and use some epoxy and put the epoxy right there, and then put another neodymium magnet right here, and just leave the epoxy overnight. You could even use some like JB Weld or something, but something more substantial than like hot glue, and then leave that like overnight, and then you're gonna have a magnet right there that's gonna magnetize in. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that soon. I just haven't done it yet, but that has to be done. That's literally what caused me to crash the other day. And I like the kickstand. I think it could be a little bit better. I mean, I don't think there's many options when it comes to kickstands for these things. I think the best idea for a kickstand I've seen yet is what the guys did with the Veteran Sherman, where they put the two knobs like on the front right here. So whenever you power it off, you can just like put it down on those two knobs on the front. And I think that's a good idea, instead of having the wire like the, and it's, like I said, it's not like a wire kickstand. It's like solid, like thick metal, but it still is not perfect. And I think that's literally the only thing I don't like about this wheel is the kickstand on it. And like, I like having the kickstand, but I just don't think it's perfect. And yeah, that's basically it. And it won't affect most people are gonna love it, because most people are not gonna be hitting like jumps on this thing as soon as they get it. So I think most people will actually absolutely love the kickstand. All right, so another thing I also really like on this thing, which is simple, but they did everything right on this wheel, except for the kickstand's the only thing that I think is something that could be better. This on the back right here, this flap is perfect in the fact that there's no water that gets thrown up anywhere in the charge ports. One thing with the Veteran Sherman is if you don't have the mud guard, it throws everything from the road directly into the charge ports on the back, and the charge ports aren't covered by anything. But this is well thought out. This is a substantial cover back here that feels really high quality. You see that? And it covers up the charge port as well as your USB port and your USB Type-C port back here. And this is high enough and out of the way that where this mud flap protects anything from ever getting up here. The only thing that's ever going to get up here is just dust if you're riding down dirt roads and stuff like that. And this is completely covering all that. I think this is the best possible charge port scenario for any unicycle by far, because it's protected back here. Even on the worst crash, your charge port's not going to get damaged. With like the Gotaways and stuff, with it up here on the top, even sticking out like a little nub on the top, I mean, that's just asking for it to get broken. With this, I mean, there's no way. It's literally recessed in there and then covered by this. That is the best possible place to put charge ports by far on any wheel, and it was well done there. Furthermore, your standard pads on the side, so I've rode this thing without the side pads on it, and I've just rode it with your standard pads that are on here, that are on the side, and it feels fine, guys. If you're not doing any jumps, anything like that, it feels perfectly fine with no extra market pads. If you want to take it to the next level, if you want to be able to power up, if you want to be able to brake hard and really get the most out of it, though, you're going to want some power pads on any wheel. I always say that. And these are the side pad governors right here. These look really good. I run the Clark pads on it as well. Those work out great on this wheel. I like these a lot. I don't know why. I like the way these look on it, and I've been riding it with these, and I like it. I like it a lot with these side pad governor XLs. They work out well on this one. One thing I also did try is the foot pedals, guys. The foot plates. I tried the Clark pedals on it, And the new Clark pedals do not fit on this wheel, guys. So do not buy the Clark pedals thinking they're going to fit on the INMOTION V12, because they don't. The only pedals that are going to fit on this wheel flawlessly, as I know, are the free motion pedals. And the free motion pedals are really good, guys. Those black free motion pedals are the ones I'm about to put on this one very, very soon. I'm going to show you a picture of them right now, because they're actually on my other M Super Pro. And I'm loving those pedals. Those free motion pedals, those black ones, and you can get them in red. But the black free motion pedals, I think, are going to be the perfect match for this wheel. With these power pads, or any other power pads with those spiked free motion pedals, dude, I think that's the only two things you need to do to it. And you'll be golden. But for just scooting around, guy, if you want something compact and you still want to be able to fold up your pedals right here, to get, like, if you're getting this just as a commuter wheel and you really want to be able to get in and out of the subway easy, and you know, and not have all this extra room taken up over here with these, not being able to fold these in, then you'll be good to go, guys. You can fold these in and not run any pads on it and still love this thing. I think it's perfect, because with a 16-inch wheel, you can, any size rider can get acceleration out of it, you know. The only thing is, with those larger wheels, these power pads really, really help you a lot, because you're trying to get so much inertia. You got to get that inertia built up to get any power under you. And with this smaller wheel, it's instantaneous, you know, and that's the fun factor of this wheel. That's why I say it's like the KTM 65, you know, SX dirt bike, is because it's that instant acceleration. It's that two-stroke acceleration without, I mean, you put power pads on this thing and you saw me, man, it is like instant power. It is crazy. Like, this thing literally is instant power, and I think that there's going to be some guys that are doing some like trials bike hopping and stuff like that, just because of the uniqueness of a 2500 watt motor right here inside of a small form factor package, and it lets you do that stuff where you want to hop from like one point to the next, and you can literally just boost with that motor. You can literally just lean and boost with it. You do a little lean and a little hop, and you can fly with this thing. It's crazy. But, and then you add a little bit of a jump in there, or any lip, and then you lean and hop with this thing, and you are lifting off, dude, like straight up lifting off. But it's sweet, man. I really like it, and this is my go-to now. Like, honestly, like for my daily commutes and just my go-to every day out of the house wheel, hands down, this is gonna be it. Like there's no other wheel that I'm reaching for other than this one, just for like my easy stuff, my short little rides, you know, going to pick up a sandwich, going to the store, whatever it may be. This seals the deal right here, dude. This thing's awesome. Like, it's perfect. I love it. I've had so much fun on this thing. It's sick, man. It really does. It hits every nail on the head. I love it. Can't dirty up my carpet in here riding it. All right, so you're probably wondering, what does this thing sound like? And all right, it sounds good, dude. So. And the speaker quality is impressive. Like I say again, guys, you're getting a powerhouse of you're getting a 19, 20 inch, 18 inch powerhouse. All the battery cells, all the power of those motors stuffed into a 16-inch wheel that has every bell and whistle on it. You got the best headlights right here. You got the best LCD display. You can change your color pattern. You don't have your LED strips just put behind some little clicky little plastic. It's actually in the machine. Looks good. Man, I think, dude, it's sick. Let's listen to some music real quick on it. The thing I like about it is the speakers aren't exposed really. Like the speakers are like up here on the front, like built in, and then built in on the back here. You see, like right here along here. And it's not like they're just placed in weird spots, dude. With some wheels, man, the speakers are just in odd spots. Here, it works good. You can hear it good from the front, you can hear it good from the back, and it's not like the speaker's coming out of the bottom or something like that, which is, you gotta put them where you can, but it just sounds better when their speakers are somewhere where it's not like aimed at the ground or something like that. So, yeah, that's one thing I like. I just played some copyright-free music.
I never take doubt as a lesson. I never second guess it. Campaign like I'm running an election. I'm popping champagne like we're not in a recession. I feel no campaign. I'll be broken is a blessing. Feel it broken through my veins. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is the level what I'm doing, finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I've been looking back. I'ma keep myself in check, keep my head up, staying strong. Always moving on, feel I don't belong. Tell my boss to move along, push myself to be the best.
You can go in here on the top and change it, and so you can see the lights are actually moving with the music.
I said you better watch what you're doing, cause I ain't gonna stop when I'm moving. I'm headed to the top, I'ma do it. I'm headed to the top, I'ma prove it. And baby girl, I like what you're doing. Your body's out of sight when you're moving.
I'm gonna change it to like green, or let's change it to like pink.
You know I'll treat you right,
We'll do all pink.
and let me go all night. I'm sick of being
Oh, that's sick.
all
What we can do?
right. I'm gonna be something all right with every trust me. I'll bleed with every word coming. I would rather die than be someone who's
Oh, that's sweet, dude. So check it out. I put it on pink, and then it's on like where it dances with all the music as it goes.
I'm the type of dude that will always be shameless. I'm the type of dude that they say is fucking heinous. Cause I'm the type of dude that you know is fucking dangerous. I'ma take it now, no you never. That will always be ageless. I'm the type of dude that will always be shameless. I'm the type of dude dangerous. Trying to get by, life's rough. Trying to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it, honestly, you can't go wrong with this wheel. If you're thinking about picking up a unicycle as your first wheel out there, this is definitely the go-to. You're gonna get this. It's not gonna feel awkward. It's not gonna feel too heavy. It's not gonna feel like one of those 18, 20-inch wheels. It's super compact. You're gonna get it. It's sleek looking. I think the wheel, I think everything about this thing just looks professional. Looks high grade on this thing. You got nice headlights, like again, like I said, you got your charging ports in the back, which is great, man. If you're ever out and you don't want to take one of those external battery packs with you, you got it right here with you. You can keep this thing small, compact. You can put it right under your desk at the office. It looks really unintrusive because of how good and clean this thing looks, actually. I mean, it doesn't look like a toy at all. You got the LCD display on here. It looks like a professional commuter machine, I think. And you know, this is going to meet the needs for a lot of people. I think this is going to be top of the line, the go-to wheel. You know, for the $2,200 price point, I think this is going to be what everybody's shooting for. And personally, after going over all the features with it, I never mess with the app and stuff, so I never really get to see all these features and display and all that. But having it built in makes me use it more, makes me, I just love it. I think everything on this wheel is phenomenal. The only thing I'm going to do to it is build some type of little recess, little housing around this display right here, so that if I do fall on it, it's not going to impact this. You know, it has held up extremely well, but that's the only thing I'm going to do to it. Usually I got to make mud guards for wheels. I got to make different pads for it, you know, to beef up the protection of it. You got bumpers already built in. The only thing I would do to this wheel is, again, put a little device around here to protect this, and then maybe put some tire slime in it to prevent a flat, and you're golden. That's literally the only 2 things you need to do for this. And you really don't even need side pads because of how small this wheel is. But I do suggest them. You'll be able to get more out of it. And use code CHOOCHTECH10 at EUC side pads. Pick up these right here if you want a discount on them. But they're sweet, man. You hear it's playing a commercial through it right now. But yeah, all in all, good wheel, man. Super high quality. Kickstand works very well. You can see that. You just flip it down like that. You're ready to go. But anyways, dudes, it's been Chooch. If y'all enjoyed the video, throw it a thumbs up, and I will see y'all in the next one.